My favorite movie is V for Vendetta. Now, there are a lot of reasons why, but I only have 3 minutes, so I'm going to try and focus on the 3 most prevalent areas in my mind, and that's the story, the action sequences, and the acting. To begin with, the story is very clearly set out in front of us. At the start of the movie, we get to see that the world is kinda messed up, but with each scene, we get to build on top of that as we see more and more of how truly fucked the world has become. We also get to see some great character development out of both Natalie Portman's character and Stephen Ray's character, as both of them discover how utterly corrupt their government truly is. Furthermore, I absolutely love the way this movie handles masks. And I'm not just talking about the literal mask that the main character wears, but also the figurative ones. The High Chancellor, Louis Prothero, and the Bishop all wear a mask of superiority to cover a complete chicken shit interior. And our main character, V, wears this literary, romantic character over a raging ball of psychotic fury. I love it! In addition to a story that would probably put this movie as my favorite regardless, we have action sequences that kick ass. I mean, look at what we're dealing with here. It's a guy dressed all in black with a cloak, a white Guy Fawkes mask, and knives. His style of fighting is literally cloak and dagger. How badass is that? He's up against fully trained, fully armed members of a totalitarian dictatorship's goon squad. Now, I love me some anti-hero, but what I find most entertaining about these action sequences is that they all boil down to effectively the same thing. It's one guy standing up against a bunch of bullies, and man, is it awesome. Time and again we see V outmatched and outgunned, yet he still manages to come out on top through sheer force of will. I mean, that last action sequence with the "know what you have are bullets" monologue at the beginning of it, how badass was that? He stood there and took gunfire from about 9 guys, stands up at the end, and just kills them all. Finally, we come to the acting. Now, I'll get to the main names in a second, but first I want to address how fantastically the ensemble did in this piece. All of the actors who played the citizens of London, you can see exactly what their characters are feeling, even though they don't have any lines. They're all just sort of looking around and nodding or shaking their heads, and you can tell exactly how much they realize that they're completely boned, but are too afraid to act. Natalie Portman did a fantastic job in this movie. In fact, before this movie, I didn't know she could act. And John Hurt, please play more villains. But obviously, the best actor has to be Hugo Weaving. I mean, he plays the title character so well, and without ever a single facial expression, and you always know what he's feeling through some sort of nod of his head or the tone of his voice. Anyway, that's why I love V for Vendetta.